Hello people, we're Lewis Teagle and Kyfer Allchorne, and this is our presentation of autism. Some people have it, but it makes their lives a creative habit.
Okay. So, let's give facts about my autism. I've been coming into college for 7 months and I always thought this wouldn't be suitable for me, but it proves to me that I was certainly wrong. It's really helped me a lot. For me, having autism is never a bad thing. Yes, it can be very challenging for my everyday needs. I have learning difficulties, as some of you may know, problems with actual direct socialising. However, the positives I generally tend to focus on my conditions. There's always something of a challenge, I always have. For me, I can remember dates on pretty much nearly every day since 2010, and I have confident detail with weather forecasting as I do in my videos on YouTube. People with autism also tend to focus on one particular interest, which for me, we know, is the weather. And for my dream job, that would be hopefully to work in the weather industry with the right qualifications and skill. It can happen.
How do I think with my autism? When it comes to my autism, I keep thinking of many different things in my mind all the time of my life. Sometimes it's just a few seconds, sometimes it might be a briefly longer. I like to think creatively, as I had creativity since my younger years, around the 2000s. I do my own creative show called Mario Toy Center since the 9th February 2011. I got my creative inspiration throughout the years from shows like Regular Shows, South Park, Star Wars: The Force of Evil, and the Cute Mario Bros. On YouTube. Cute Mario Bros. Is the first inspiration I got to create Mario Toy Center in the first place. Sometimes with my autism, I could be feeling antisocial, depending what my mind is thinking, as I have two worlds, the real world and the autism world, where we all know we live in the real world, but for me, I have two worlds, which is the real world and the autism world, where I think of many subjects as all the time, and it keeps changing all the while. Sometimes it's briefly a bit longer, say like 10, 20 seconds. And with autism people, we're not like we always look directly in the eye, me and Kyfer all the while, because of our autism, because sometimes there's a few subjects in our mind that makes us feel embarrassed or flustered.
Yeah.
It happens to me a few times since in my pre-teen years, but it rarely does now because I keep improving myself. So living with autism, it may be challenging, and it can be hard, especially from your younger years, where you may not even know what autism is, because I didn't know what the word autism was until I was 15 years old, and that's a long time, that is. How different each autism person are. From my personal experience, I know every autistic person is different compared to some others. One person might be autistic, but with education and experience over the last 20 years, he or she can improve and change their thinking mind and start to concentrate more on work, exams, etc. Another person with autism will be more severe, and it's either not having enough education through life, hasn't been given much opportunities, or their parents being too overprotected and keep having them to be inside their home all the time, or don't get to meet friends. For me, in my younger years, since like from 11 up until I was probably 16, 17, I spent most of my summer holidays on my laptop doing my creative show, because I didn't have neighbourhood friends around in my home area, because most of the time I've only been at my grandma and my granddad's house in the summer, and most of my half-time holidays, the school holidays, where I may spend a lot of time on my own. I've got to be used to it, but it's not a bad thing, but because I didn't know I was going to be on my own a lot in my younger years until I realised the experience years later. But whenever you've got many friends or you don't have any, with my creativity, it's like a colourful jigsaw puzzle in my brain and my mind, and without it, I wonder who I'll be today without my creativity. Who knows?
Okay, and I'm going to give you some of the autism facts that some people may not know. So, autism can range from Asperger's to major severe learning difficulties, minor Asperger's, to major severe learning difficulties, so they're not always the same. There are today, every day, 700,000 people living in the UK with autism. boys are much more likely to get diagnosed with autism than girls do. Apparently, girls tend to type more better than boys, according to some facts about it. Regardless whether it's minor or major, it is incurable, and it will be with you all throughout your lifetime.
It is true.
Sadly, those who have autism, and it's very true by the way, are more likely to get bullied, as they are different than most normal people.
I got bullied quite a lot back at Maple School, so that proves it.
I know, it's such a...
It's more, because I was just more vulnerable back then.
Vulnerability.
I bet you were the same back at your old high school.
I never got bullied that much, but I think in terms of how the schooling went, I don't think I was taught maybe as well.
Did you have that many friends? Did you spend a lot of your friends in your spare time in the summer holidays?
I had a couple, but my autism was a bit different back then. Anyways, back to where we was. Close to half of the people with autism actually don't have learning difficulty, but mostly just problems with socialising with friends. And if I can give you the last one, we would like you to give a thank you very much for listening to Autism PowerPoint. Us two may have autism, but we never let it affect us badly. We just get on with
No, we just tend just to keep learning every day.
Absolutely.
And we experience personal times or just simple times, because life is like a roller coaster. We have ups and downs, but
we go through every day.
The most important thing of life is just experiencing it and
enjoy
at the same time.
Enjoy it. We have to
especially for autism people. That's how
Absolutely.
I've improved comparing to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
About myself.
And now I learn how I can just improve on, you know, how to...
Our autism is very similar in each other,
We do.
because I can compare.
Yeah. So guys.
Any questions?
Yes, do you have any questions?
I've got a question. So what
Go
would
on.
you find most challenging, maybe at college?
Most challenging
I've got
in
one.
college? I got one as well. You say yours first.
Exams.
Okay.
I obviously with exams, it can be a very, very difficult time for me, and it's on my head for over the last, like Lewis said, it is on my head over the last couple of weeks, you know, when you tend to always
Even
think of
months.
something, yeah, even months, you find it very hard to get it off of your head and officially switch off. But I think with college, you know, don't be afraid to go to a mainstream college when you think your autism is not going to be appropriate, well actually you're wrong. And I feel that I can still go to level 2 anyway next year, because obviously my math and English levels are level above level 1. So I will hopefully be able to get there with no issues, and I'm also up for a challenge for level 2.
My biggest problem around local college personally is trying to like make friends, because since I came to upper college, I've met lots of classmates over time, especially like Kyfer, Jay Shepherd, and a few honourable mentions. But really, there's not really anyone around college I personally want to make friends with because of who they are, or maybe because they go into groups, they prefer to be with other people because they're the same as them or have the same interests. But if I really want to make a real nice friend, I'll have someone like Kyfer. He's got like time if he's not too busy with his personal life. We can maybe then go out into like Loughborough or Leicester. But I have one classmate who's actually been my friend since Maplewell, which was Aaron Mann. He's working at McDonald's now near Shelford. I think he's been like my friend since I came to upper college, since Maplewell anyway. But if I get a choice to, if I really want to make friends, I want to make friends, even if they're not interesting or they might want to, but it depends on their opinion and view. I like to have friends like Kyfer, Kimberly Morris-Ski, Jay Shepherd. I did try to make a friend around upper college called Kieran Noble around last year. I didn't even ask him if he wants to meet up on a Friday when I was off, but he seems kind of busy because he was doing his art lessons, what he does once a week.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if I don't have any friends or, you know, if anyone who is like me around college, as long as I've got staff, teachers, classmates like Kyfer and Kimberly and a few others.
So
I think I'm satisfied enough to accept that.
Okay, what is there anything the college you think could do better?
Anything at the college that could do better? Well, I did try to go to a social club. I do it once a month, but I've only done it once in September for personal reasons. Maybe
I'm just thinking.
this is a problem with Loughborough College. I did try and make improvements before a while ago, like maybe having an arts and creative session once a week or something like.
Okay.
You get to draw pictures or have a competition. There'll be a prize or something like that. So that's the reason why my third year at Loughborough College has been a bit more waned out. Meaning it's a bit more bland and a bit more dried out compared to my first 2 years. But I'm not saying it's been a bad year, but it's been a bit more of an average year personally for me. But I'll always be honest, I will.
And for me, I've actually just thought of something. I think, again, I do apologise for repetition of the word exam, but, you know, with autistic people, you know, I would think that actually having some special, you know, not just one, but I think that some people like me who tend to be kind of quite independent, but in terms of how you arrange with maths or English exams regardless, whether they may struggle the most, I think having like some special private, not just once, but over several private exams talk sessions where what's the best skill you can to, you know, pass through your grades and you can get to the next level, you know, see what I mean? Like, for example, a very similar person like me who was working on level 2 but constantly struggled to get a pass or whatever, and they needed really major help to get to GCSE, I would offer like special, more general special exam talk one-to-one sessions or whatever to give you advice on how you can remember these and potentially just, you know, advice on whatever can get you to pass. That's what I would say.
Okay, good. How well do you manage sort of a change of personnel, change of tutors, change of rooms?
Oh, do you mean how do we cope with the changes?
Yes.
Well, especially in the third year, I think it's been having the most changes out of any other where Lisa Newby now works at the job shop. Our English teacher Savannah is now working with a different class. There has been certainly been a lot of changes for me personally where some classmates I've known has gone to different places. I'm more on my own nowadays, but I've got Kyfer and people like you.
You're not
Margaret. No, but I'm trying to say, like, I'm certainly been a bit more alone for myself than comparing it to the previous 2 years of my personal college life.
It's a huge change for me. I'd never known anyone before I started September.
I didn't know you were autistic until I've asked you get to know you
I
a few
kept
months
quiet
ago.
to begin with because I didn't want to reveal my true identity straight away.
You shouldn't feel vulnerable to just express yourself.
Well, I spoke to Tanya, and even if it's going to be a higher level next year, I'm up for the challenges despite my autism, and I feel that sometimes.
I think the reason why I really have taken like many friends over my time is because I always like to have female friends more than male friends.
Well, we've had this conversation, haven't we? You'd want
A
like
while
more
ago,
ladies in the class.
yes. Well, you know, I'd rather be alone than, you know, having people as my friends that are not interested in me and they just use me for money or want to just do stupid things in the public.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we all know that long. You know,
Well,
it's just not my
say
opinion.
something. Doesn't that? Interestingly, having fewer friends than loads of friends is actually somewhat better because.
It is.
So I wouldn't worry about the number of
True friends are more of a gem they are than fake friends, where they're rarer to find and meet.
Oh, like
but you're lucky enough, you find me.
basically.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? No, any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.